Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Jane Belante Art. Today I am going to show you how to make this absolutely adorable little wood spool snowman. So stay tuned. All right, so for this project, you are going to need some pixie dough. And so this is the main ingredient of the project. I've got some toothpicks, you'll see why later. I've got 3 Posca markers. I've got black, orange, and pink. You can use paint instead. These are just super easy to use. I have some Paint Pixie paints. I've got the Magical Chaulk Paint in Cream Puff, and then I have the liquid pixie dust in white sand. I have a wood spool, and you can choose to save the thread on it. I kind of like it on there because I'm going to be putting some of this music note paper, and it just kind of makes it a little bit more bulky, a little easier to, get the paper in there. So I have some ruffled ribbon. You can use whatever you have. You could even use paper for this part, and that's it. So I do have my hot glue gun plugged in and ready to go. So let's start making the snowman. So the little head's going to be sitting on top of this. So I want to make sure that it's not too big and not too small, right? So I'm going to just keep that there. I'm going to pull some pixie dough out. And I'm going to need, I don't know, let's start with this. Basically, you're just going to make a snowball with this. And when you think about making your snowmen outside, they're never so-called, and I'm using air quotes here, perfect, right? It's just round. It's definitely got texture in it. Sometimes you pick up dirt and grass from the ground, right? So don't worry if your ball is not what you deem to be perfect, okay? It's going to be okay. I kind of think that's good. I want to do maybe a little bit bigger. So what's awesome about the pixie dough is it's super pliable. It's really fun to play with, and you can add and take away very easily. Yes, that's good. So it's kind of hanging off of there, and that's actually really what I want. Pretty perfect. So now we're going to make the nose. And I'm just going to kind of shape it. I want it to be round, but then I want it to look like a carrot too. So I'm going to kind of smash this end in, for lack of a better term. And I'm going to pull some off. And then you can just kind of smooth it out. And that's probably a little too long. Cute, but it might be just a touch long. So I'm just going to pull a little bit more off, flatten it a little. And again, carrots are oddly shaped, right? They aren't perfect. I feel like this might still be a little big for his face. So just keep playing with it until you get a shape that you like. I think that's pretty good. So let's see how I want his face to be. So what's really great is I'm just going to smush this right into the pixie dough, and I'm just going to take the edge of the nose and smooth it into the face. This is really, really easy. And if you kind of mash your face a little bit, it's fine. You can just smooth it out. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got a little head. Just gonna round him a little bit more. So he's gonna sit on there. He's got a long nose. I'm gonna pull some of that off. That nose is a little too long. There we go. That I love. Okay, how cute. All right, so I'm just gonna stick the rest of my Pixie Doh back in the bag and make sure that you close it airtight. All right, so that is it for the snowman structure. So now I'm going to paint him a little bit, and I've got the cream puff. This is Paint Pixie's off-white. It's not really a cream because there's not a ton of yellow in it. If you are thinking about getting new brushes and you want a really good value, you get 5 brushes in this magic pack. And they're all sizes that you use all the time. And they are really, really nice brushes. This is a perfect size for something like this. So you're gonna get your fingers and things a little bit dirty, a little bit messy. Don't worry about that. Just have a baby wipe or a paper towel close by. And so now I just gave him a little bit of an off-white look because I think he's going to end up looking a little bit vintagey anyways. Vintagey. I'm not sure that's a word, but it is now. Okay, I'm going to take my heat tool, dry that, and get this off my fingers. Next is the nose. And that is where my orange Posca is going to come into play. These pens are amazing. I'll have a link for them if you've never tried them. They're just a great paint pen. Really nice pigmentation. They flow just wonderfully. And they're amazing for projects like this. All right, so the reason why I left the cream puff on here is because I knew I would be messy. So if you get a little paint pen, I'm just gonna pull it through. And I'll dry it quick and then put another coat of the cream puff over this and it'll be good. All right, so you can see it's pretty orange, right? But I dried it. So the cream puff is just gonna cover it right back up. All right, he's looking super cute right now. So I'm leaving this cream puff out. I'm probably gonna come back to that. I'm definitely gonna come back to that. And now I want to just draw in some eyes. These are going to just be circles. So the cheeks take a little bit of layering. So you just draw a nice big circle there. And there. So if you like the look of just the really super bright pink, you could leave it like this. I'm gonna let that partially dry. And let's do the mouth. I grabbed this Pitt Artist pen. This is indigo ink. It will be permanent when it dries. It's just a little bit smaller than the Posca. And just a little bit easier to make the smiley come out. His face is a little wonky, but you know what? It's a snowman. It's so cute. Okay. This is the Liquid Pixie Dust Metallic Paint in white sand. I've just put a little, I probably put too much out. I'll end up putting some more of that back in. And I'm going to go, oh, these aren't quite dry yet, and that's what you want, because we're gonna kind of make these cheeks look a little more frosty. So we put some white sand over both of them. You see it's kind of already spreading out a little bit. I'm just going to keep putting a couple different layers on. And if you get it too far, you can just kind of rub it with your finger. It's no big deal because we're going to be going back with the cream puff to even this all out. I put a lot on that one. That's okay. Let's get a little bit more over here. So they're looking a little bit more pink and rosy. Let me dry this. Well, you know what? I'm not going to dry it quite yet. I'm just going to go with my, let me get a little bit more cream puff on here. Here, I thought I poured too much cream puff and I'm pouring more. And so I'm just going to take a little of the cream puff and go around the edges and see how that's blending all out. I'm grabbing a little bit of the white sand that's left on there. And don't worry, you can, if you like just there, I got a little pink up a little too far. That is not a big deal. I'm using my finger to kind of blend this out a little bit. Next, I am going to put his cute little head aside, and I'm going to cut a piece of this music. Now if you are on my email list, this is this week's free printable. Let me just kind of see how much I'm gonna need here. And my free printables come out every single Friday with links to tutorials on how to use them. This is one of this week's, and so if you just end up getting on the email list now, you can respond to my welcome email and say, hey, can I have the music sheet printable? And I'll email it to you. So just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Gonna hold this up one more time because I am really eyeing this up here. I'm gonna cut it on this staff line and then we'll just refine it from there. So basically I'm going to wrap this around, and I do like having the thread there just for a little girth. Look at that. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. So I'm going to wrap it around. And I want it to be pretty tight, so I usually go over it maybe an inch or more. So maybe like there-ish. So I'm going to cut it straight down on this line right here. And I'm going to use, sorry for that, that's totally my garage door. Okay, so I have a cut, and I'm gonna just kind of hold it tight here. And in fact, you can put some glue on this part. You don't have to, because once you kind of glue the ends together, it's not gonna go anywhere, but let's hold that little rogue piece of thread in. And I'm just gonna make sure this is tight all the way around. See, it's still popping up anyway, so it's not a big deal. And I am going to glue this whole flap here. And I'm making sure that when I overlap it, you're not seeing the seam from the underneath piece. And I'm just gonna hold it for a minute. Cute. All right, so next you will need your glue tool. And you can either choose to pull the sticker off of here, or you can just leave it on. I'm just gonna leave it on because it's gonna get covered up anyways. I'm going to put a nice bit of glue on here. And then pop on your head. I like him, he's so cute. And we'll just hold that for a minute and let it dry. Okay, one product I forgot to tell you about is, this is German glass glitter. You can find it in a brand called Diamond Dust, or you can just search for German glass glitter while you're out. I will put a link to this. And I'm going to use some of the Meltdown from Paint Pixie. And I need a liquid for this Diamond Dust to stick to. And you see that the Posca pen and the Pit Artist pen that I used are both permanent. So when I go back and put this Meltdown on top, it doesn't smear. And don't worry if you get it. You could also do the glitter before you glue them on. Either way, I kind of like to do it after because I have something to hang on to. Okay, and while this is wet, you are going to take this German glass glitter and I actually want to put a little piece of paper underneath this so it's not as messy. It's still going to be messy, but, and you can just shake it. Yeah, the paper's not even doing anything. Good thing I put that there. I want to get it on the nose, on the head, on the eyes. And you just give it a little shake. And have the excess come off. And then if you see little areas like right here on the cheek, this part was kind of missed. You can go back and might add a little bit more. Oh, he's so snowy now. I love him. Maybe the tip of the nose needs a touch more. I love him. He's so cute. Okay, so now on to his little collar. So we're making him a fun little collar and a little hat. So take the corner of your printable and you're just going to cut out kind of a curved triangle. And then what you're going to do is, I always really just try to keep this top part as pointy as possible. And then you can just kind of roll this. This is just an easy way to do this. And you see I'm getting a little bit of a party hat here. And I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do the hot glue. Put a little, messy, put a little line in here. And then I'm just going to kind of scribble the glue out, if that makes sense. So I'm not putting too much. I don't want it to be super thick, but I used that because it'll just stick right away. Now you have a little excess overhang, no big deal. Just take your scissors. I usually just kind of chop it off. Okay, so my point is not perfect either. It's not a big deal. I'm going to attach some of this ribbon on next. So I'm just going to cut off a piece. And then let me make this a little straighter. And then I'm going to cut it. Your ribbon might not be like this. I don't even know where this came from, this ribbon. It's a trim. I have no idea where I got it. It was in my stash. So, but you see how it's got the double line here? I'm going to cut that in the middle and just make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so now pull it a little bit to give it a little, I'm going to just attach it so that it's around the hat. So take some glue, put it around the rim, and you can do this kind of bit by bit too. And it should just immediately cling to the glue. I don't want a bunch of glue like seeping over that line, so just be careful with that. And then you can just go all the way around the hat like this. My fingers are getting gluey. And it's not going to meet in the back here unless you make it. So you can just put a little dollop of glue. If it comes out, yep, and burn your finger. Good, good job. And you can just kind of attach it like that, see? Now that part's not gonna show, so it's not a big deal. I'm gonna let this dry just for a sec. So when we put it on the head, it'll be more like that. Oh, for goodness sakes. It's a little messy. Come off. Come off of my finger. Yeah, there we go. This is so adorable. So I have this frosted berry pick. This is from Hobby Lobby. Good old Hobby Lobby. And I'm pulling it off. And I'm going to be sticking it on this toothpick, but I have to enlarge this hole. So I'm just going to take my awl. And this is like hard. So like the berry is hard. So I'm kind of just boring into it. And so what I ended up doing is just pulling off a little chunk of this hard plastic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fill this a little bit. Let me see. Let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on. Yeah, so I'm going to put it in like this. It's so cute. And I don't really want it to move around. So I'm just going to take some glue and see how that is inside of there. I'm just going to take some glue and just kind of pour it in here. And that way, my toothpick is not going to move around. Almost done here. Oh my goodness, look at how cute that is. So we need some glue. This part is a little bit tricky. So what I usually do is kind of mash it into the head a bit and see how I've left that line. And so now I'm just going to take some glue around that. That's why the Pixie Doh is so great, because it's really, really pliable. It's super easy to use, and I love that you can just paint it right away. It's so adorable. And so now we just have one more thing to do, and that is give him a little collar. And so you can choose, you know, the size. I think I'm going to cut this in half again. So you're going to do yours based upon the size of your trim. If I can hold it straight. Okay, and I'm basically just going to do the exact same thing I just did on the hat, only I'm going to do that. Let's see which way I'm going to do. I want to make sure the ends meet in the back, so I'm just going to kind of unravel this a little bit. Okay, this is so adorable. I really, really love him. Okay, let's... Before that glue dries. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. And it's so easy. This is so incredibly easy. He just makes me laugh. I just love him. And let me just trim this a touch. And that is it. Oh, I think he's just the most adorable thing. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I just think he turned out so adorable. I love him so much. I am so grateful that you were here today and you watched this video. Do check out my other videos on this channel. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe. I come back with a new video every single Friday, and happy Snowman.